But you know what it's time for.
We are all here to do what Falcons do. Look at that.
Guys, here's what we're doing. We're going to run the piss out of this football. Hey, I got you. We're getting ready to run the piss out of football. Time to get something going. I got you.
Bijan. I don't know if he's ventured to Magic yet, but he'll definitely get the Magic treatment for his Magic stick anytime he goes in there.
I mean, he's the toast of the town at this point, right? I think that's fair to say, right?
I mean, was it 22 touches for 172 yards?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
I mean,
let's not forget 2 huge fourth down conversions. I mean,
oh God, Arthur with the big nuts. And let me tell you what, because we're going to be all over the place with this because we've been at both games. Yo, Parlay Pete, when we kicked the field goal to go up, I thought Arthur was about to go for it again just to bleed more clock.
It just didn't make sense, though.
It didn't, but if
we could stop, the game was over. And I think we had one time. We didn't have all 3 timeouts. So,
and I'm sitting there, I'm like, yo, Arthur Smith, you coach like your dad's a billionaire. In the sense of, and I've had conversations with people who
I do what I want. We're gonna fucking sue you if you do something like.
But yes, but I've had conversations with people. I've had conversations with people who've been involved in coaching. I've had conversations with people in other industries where you kind of are there and you don't leave it. And a lot of these coaches, they coach not to get fired because football is all they know. And once you get that OC job, you're coaching to be a head coach. Once you get that head coaching job, you're coaching to be a head coach and not have to go back to being an OC. And Arthur's out there like, I'm trying to win. Like fuck everything else. I'm trying to win. Like if this gets me fired, hey, we straight. We good. And dog, what, fourth quarter, 3 scoring drives?
I loved every minute of it. I think it justified everything that we've said about him as a coach, that he is a good coach. Now, look, is the running game sexy? No.
It is with Bijan.
Well, yeah, because of how he is as a player. But even last year, we saw that it worked. We knew it worked, but I'm just saying, is grounding and pounding the ball, is it sexy? No, it's not sexy. But goddamn it, boy. Do they know how to run that goddamn football? Does he know when the time is right to go for it? These were all convincing things. And like I said, everybody's got to look at it this way. Green Bay is not a bad football team. Now, like I said, I have them as a playoff team this year. But, like, that was not a bad football team we played. That was a good football team.
Hey, Parlay P, I got a question for you.
A well-coached team at that.
I got a question for you.
I've got an answer for you.
Because I think the Falcons play with substance, right? You have some sexy in there. It looks good at times. It is, but it gets the job done. And so far this year, the fans leave the game happy.
Yeah.
When it comes to, because we're devoted fans, right?
Mm-hmm.
We
season ticket holders.
We're
a segment every week.
Yeah.
Even during non-football season.
Yeah, we love the Falcons. We're devoted. Now you're looking for a partner. You're looking for somebody to be with in public and not just at night, you know,
Mm-hmm.
are you looking for just sexy or are you looking for getting the job done? Like getting the job done day in and day out. I want some sexy here every now and then, right? And the amount of sexy you want, it can vary, but you want somebody who gets the job done consistently. And the Falcons' run game is a good fucking wife. It gets the job done. Is it going to be sexy every time? No. Does it have flashes of sexy? You're fucking right. But do I leave happy more days than I don't because I see what we're going for, I see what we're trying to do, and I see it working? Bet your fucking bottom dollar.
Yeah, it's what we need as a franchise because we've been so used to the finesse, I remember there was the one game Matt threw for 500 and Julio went for 300. And it's like, everybody's dick's hard, right? Like we're really excited about that because it's just like these guys just did history. We just watched history on this field, Pro Bowlers, everything looks good. But our end result a lot of the time wasn't what it is, that it wasn't what we wanted.
It's hard to blow leads when you can just.
Guys, here's what we're doing. We're going to run the piss out of this football.
When you can run the piss out of the football the way the Falcons do, when everybody knows you're about to run the piss out of the football, and you can still run the piss out of the football and get 7 yards, 8 yards, 12 yards.
Nobody's going to be upset with that. And I think it's even better because this week we're headed to a place like Detroit where there's a pretty good defense that we're going up against, right? A lot of hype. They're coming off a disappointing loss, a game that they probably shouldn't have lost. I want to see this stuff happen on the road now because now we've gotten our 2 home games. We did what we expected us to do. We expected us to win our home games, these first 2 games. We expected to win these games. Can we put it together on the road? Because it can get so fucking crazy really quickly if they go in there and win this game. And I fully expect us to go in there and do it. I wouldn't be surprised if we lost, but I fully expect us, honestly, to win that game. They're down David Montgomery. They're down C.J. Gardner-Johnson. They're down another defensive lineman who's a starter. They've got some problems on the offensive line this week, too. There's a bunch of guys that are banged up on that offensive line. If we can go in there and out-physical them and go to 3-0 headed to London, look out. Because the Jaguars, although I think certainly the best team in the AFC South and a, good football team for all intents and purposes, I think they're a good football team. That game is on a neutral field. There is no home field advantage. So then it really just comes down to who's the better team. I'm not saying we win. We'll see what happens. But then after that, you come home. You get the Houston Texans at home. You get the Commanders at home. This is what your schedule looks like moving forward. You go to Tampa. Shit is all I'm saying.
Hey, man. And
you can really start making some noise. And if Desmond Ridder can do – let me tell you, this is what I'll say about Desmond Ridder. He progressively got better in that game.
Yeah.
I thought that the further the game went on, he got better. And crazy enough, Jordan Love went the opposite way because Jordan Love started off very well. He got worse. He started not making the passes. He had the false start where he looked drunk at the line of scrimmage. Desmond Ridder had a big pickup too. He had a big pickup. It was like I don't remember if it was a 4th down or a 3rd down, but it was a huge conversion where he contorted his body to get it. Then, of course, he had the touchdown run too of the same. He played – that was the best game he's played, I think, since he started. That was by far his best game. Even though he had the turnover, his first – everybody kept trying to fucking talk about – that's why I was so happy he threw it. I was just like, great. Now I don't have to see that graphic anymore. Like of him just not throwing any interceptions. Fuck his interceptions. Like, fuck the interceptions. Like, yeah. I like the direction that the team is headed in, and I hope that they keep it up, man. I really do, because they could really have something good going here, and we can be a year ahead of schedule. I'm not saying we're winning the Super Bowl or going to the Super Bowl, but I would be very pleased if our team hosted a home playoff game. We won that said home playoff game. Basically, if we did exactly what the Jaguars did last season.
Yeah.
We go to Dallas, San Francisco, Philly, whoever, and we give them a hell of a game to where people are talking about it. And then next year we're back, whether that be with Desmond Ridder or we're able to somehow upgrade at quarterback. I think that if Desmond Ridder plays well enough to where we get to that point, he will more than likely be the guy. But even if he's not, then we're not going to draft a quarterback. It would be us getting a Kirk Cousins of some sort.
Hey, how enthused were you to see a good showing from the Falcon faithful on Sunday?
It was pretty good. There wasn't that many Green Bay fans. It wasn't as many as it normally would be for something like that.
Green Bay travels well. For those of you who don't really understand like fan bases that travel, Green Bay travels really well. I know you weren't in your seats; you were in the club.
But we have to walk down. We still walk.
Yeah, I know, but both of us, we have seats on the visitor side.
Correct.
So there was a lot of Falcons fans there. There were a lot of Falcons fans there in our section, and I know that like my regular season ticket holders didn't sell their tickets this week.
Right.
And typically that's a game where you'll let your ticket go because you'll make good money on those tickets because those fans travel. So it was nice to see good showing by the Falcons faithful. Like I said, we won the game. Jesse Bates is earning his check right now. PFF has him graded as the second highest defensive player so far this year. And you can see it on the field. Like week 1, 2 picks. Week 2, he's just there. He's making things happen. He's making things difficult for the other defenses and offenses. And you can see the void that he left in Cincinnati.
Absolutely.
So I'm excited about our Falcons. I'm super ecstatic about what we're doing, and we're moving in the right direction. And the only thing that we're going to talk about every week is, did Dez do enough?
That does seem to be pretty much our only question. And, of course, like I said, we'll look up and we will say to ourselves, man, what did Kyle Pitts do? Like Kyle Pitts didn't do it. He wasn't involved in the offense this week. We had our Drake London side. Drake had a solid game. We had a Mac Hollins side. Big catch, big throw. Jonnu Smith was alive and well. He had a couple of big plays, especially on that opening drive. Those are the questions that we have. And of course, we didn't see Cordell Patterson. I thought that was a little weird because I thought that he was active. I don't remember seeing him on the field not once. So I don't know what happened with that either, because then he starts becoming a trade bait for a team that needs a running back, it sounds like.
You know what I don't like, though, about the national conversation around the Falcons now, because Bijan Robinson is putting us in a national conversation.
They're still not getting the respect they deserve. I saw them in one top 10.
But here's what I don't like. I mean, I know Caleb Huntley had 1,000 yards last year, and the Falcons don't want to run Bijan Robinson too much, but you got to give him the ball more. No, you don't.
You're not watching the game.
You're not watching the game. We are setting a tone. We are thunder and lightning. Like when I was a kid and I watched USC with Reggie Bush and Lindale White.
Actually, the nickname's gonna be ketchup and mustard.
Cool. When I used to watch USC, I'm like, stop putting Lindale in the game. Get a ball to Reggie Bush. Because he was the flashy back. But now that I'm older, I understand, you know what? You want somebody to go in between the tackles and actually beat guys up. Get them tired. Make these D linemen have to make tackles. Make these linebackers have to make tackles. Wear them down, and I honestly, I believe that's what we did. Because, hey, up or down, Arthur doesn't stop running the piss out of the ball.
Right.
And I think if the Falcons win at the way that we think that they will, I think we're going to see a referendum on these pass happy offenses, because the 49ers, they run the piss out of the ball.
Yeah, if you peeked over at all, they put in, Elijah Mitchell. I seen him getting plenty of touches. It looks like he's probably had about 6-7 carries in this game already. But that white boy is special.
And as the league is becoming so pass friendly, and you got to get faster linebackers who are lighter in the ass, the run game works more. When you got these linebackers who are 225, 215, and they're meeting a fullback, they don't get off the block the same way the 250-pound linebacker did back in the day.
Yeah.
And circle of life, man. This shit goes in circles. But I don't have anything else on the Falcons. I'm just excited. We are executing in the way in which I think both of us thought the offense would execute, but John is the guy that we thought he would be. And the team is succeeding because Desmond Ridder is doing what he's being asked to do.
Exactly. I'm super excited about the direction of the team. And obviously that's why I'm going to be traveling for the next 2 games. Of course, I'll be.
Are you going to London too?
Oh, come on. You knew that. I'm going to be honest with you. That game is more important than next week for me. But
you know what's funny about that game? One of my partners, he's working in the UK. His job sent him out there for 6 weeks. And he hit me up about, hey, does your Falcons package
come with the tickets
or link you in for tickets? And I'm like, not really. I'm not a PSL guy. I gotta call them because they're trying.
It's a club thing, anyways. Though you gotta have the club tickets.
Well, bro. Speaking of which,
for the road games. Now they do actually specifically for the London game. I do believe
they're the package.
They're sending that out. Yeah, it's like shit's like expensive as hell. Like you're buying the hotel. It's like an NFL. It's like almost like buying a Super Bowl package type.
It's like I think it's like $3,000 for it,
and it doesn't include your flight either. Like
hotel
tickets.
And they
give you a finger foam shit that says NFL on it, like shit.
And they plan events that you can go to and get in for free. And it's like, bro,
yeah.
If I'm going to London, I'm not doing none of this shit y'all got planned.
See, for me, I'm only showing up the day of the game. I'm not even going to be hanging out in London. We're going to. Jew is supposed to be coming. I hope he comes, but if he doesn't, either way, I'm going to go to Oktoberfest. And then my boy Latana, he plays in 30 minutes outside of Madrid. His first home game of the year is that Friday, so I'll go to that.
That's live.
Yeah. So it's turned into a trip. I'm only going to be out there 3 or 4 days, but like,
well, you don't really care about sleep like most people do.
Well, not on these type of trips, no. If we were going to the beach or something, or
hey, the beach.
We're going to wake up at noon to get the day started. Like, I don't need breakfast.
The beach is boring, if we're being honest.
Well, think about it. We didn't even hit it in Tampa.
For what?
Yeah, I mean, there was no reason to, but.
No, like, I got it for you people who like going to the beach. That's cool. But when you're going to a city to party, if you're not day drinking at beach bars or at like a pool party on some Vegas type shit, Tampa also has those too.
Mm-hmm.
Bro, I'm good off the beach.
Yeah.
I'm super good off the beach. Like I'm just interested in more things than sitting outside and like getting sun. Dog, I'm dark enough. Not that I don't care if I get darker, but like I'm not out there for the sun. I ain't walking around pale and shit. Like, it's so funny. I talked to my wife because my wife, she's from a beach town, and she's just like, man, I just miss the beach so much. And I'm like, what? Y'all beaches ain't even lit like that. Like, and where you from? Like, it's cloudy on the beach. Like, it ain't even.
That's the type of beach where you gotta wear a sweatshirt.
No, for real, bro. Like them beaches, like you put a sweatshirt on.
You got a sweatshirt, and you roll up the sleeves on it. and you
Yeah,
have
like,
your hood on. It's
yeah,
like,
bro. Like you just go out, you rather chill like on the rocks than in the sand. I'm like, bro, if I'm going to the beach, I'm trying to be out there. I'm trying to be like PCB. You know what I'm saying? Like that. When I think of the beach, that's what I think of. I think of people barely
Miami Beach.
clothed, shirt off.
Yeah,
The
you're
whole
thinking
stop
of Miami
breathing.
Beach, yeah.
Yeah, bro. I'm thinking about the beach for the party, not. I'm just gonna go out here and read a book. Hey, I read a book in my room.
Fun.
All right, let's play some volleyball or throw the football. No.
No. Where's the six pack at? And where's the bitch? Like, you know what I mean? Like that type of beach party.
Well, no, I'm not looking for the.
I'm saying in the heyday, not today. I'm not saying
never that. But in the heyday, it's like fuck a six pack. Hey, where the liquor? and who gonna let me liquor?
Unbelievable. Yo, I'm starting to notice that they just don't throw the ball to George Kittle anymore. What's up with that?
Man, him and Jared Purdy probably don't get along, you know.
And this is fucking bullshit.
I mean, Purdy, Iowa State, Kittle's Iowa. You know what I'm saying? Rivalry is real.
No, this is bullshit. Now, granted, on this last play, it was a tip ball, good catch by the other guy, but of course, Kittle couldn't benefit from it, right? And he was standing like right next to him. It couldn't be Kittle that benefits. Instead, it's the no-name wide receiver that's got a touchdown already. I need a touchdown by George Kittle in this game, or else I'm going to lose my bet.
Let's get to the rest of the NFC South. New Orleans is 2-0. Baker and the Bucs are 2-0.
Mm-hmm. Not making it easy on us.
The Panthers are 0-2.
Oh, by the way, and Bryce Young's not playing Sunday.
He hurt?
Yeah, you didn't see that Andy Dalton's going to start Sunday?
No. Look, so you understand my phone situation from this past weekend.
Regarding?
Well, so I bought a new phone.
Oh, yes.
And my backup hasn't synced over properly. So, like, I don't have all of my old apps and my access on the new phone, but I don't have service on the old phone unless I'm on Wi-Fi.
Mm-hmm.
And so, like, I'm out of the loop on stuff unless I'm at home with the old phone, like, looking at shit. Mm-hmm. And I have too much pride to go to T-Mobile and say, hey, man, I should know technology enough to be able, like, I've restored my memory from one phone to another phone before, and long story short, bro, like my new phone don't got all my stuff on it. I don't even have.
You have an iPhone though, still, right?
Yeah. So like everything's backed up in the in my cloud.
You can get the new iPhone. I think that's now, isn't it?
I got a 14, bro. I'm not. I don't need a 15.
Yeah.
Like what am I?
Well, like, the same phone. In reality, they're the same phone. I mean, let's keep it 100. They're the same phone. There's
the only difference between my 13 and my 14 Pro Plus is that I got, I think, 3 camera lenses and it's bigger.
Mm-hmm.
That's what you said. Yeah. Yeah, 3 instead of 2, and it's larger. And I prefer the larger phone, except for when I wear those tight jeans.
Yeah, because then it just shows and everybody can see it.
Well, that's usually what they. Let me stop. Who do you see as a threat in the NFC South that's 2-0?
I think Tampa more than New Orleans. And I think because, to me, yes, New Orleans has the better defense, I guess. I think Tampa, oddly enough, is coming on as stronger, in my opinion, because this is the same Bucs team that's, it's just Baker replacing Tom, basically. That it is the same Bucs team. The Saints team, Derek Carr doesn't look good, in my opinion. They have the one touchdown drive in their first game at home against the Titans, who aren't projected to be a very good team this year. They're gritty, they're well coached or whatever. Meanwhile, with Tampa, and look, New Orleans played Carolina just like we did. So we both have a win against Carolina. But Tampa, look, I mean, Tampa's wins aren't super duper impressive either. And I think that we'll get a litmus test with them because they get Philly at home. on Monday. But I think Tampa would be more of the team because if Baker's going to continue to play decent, they have the edge at quarterback because he looks better than Derek Carr through 2 weeks at least.
Yeah. So I agree with you because the Bucs return their weapons, they return their defense, and they don't have a run game, and they shedded playoff Lenny. And I honestly think that it's going to sound nuts. The Bucs at this point where Brady was at will play better because they're not calling plays for Brady. They're calling the plays that they think are going to be best schematically.
Yeah.
Kind of like what we're going to see with the Packers this year. They're going to play better football more than likely than they did last year. Now that Jordan Love is better at quarterback than Aaron Rodgers because he's not.
More ball distribution.
More ball distribution, more trusting the scheme and less trusting of people.
Right, because Aaron Rodgers hit the big complaint was, I don't have anyone to throw the ball to. Then Christian Watson emerged, and then every week from here on out, Christian Watson's the guy, right? Robert Tonyan was a guy, I guess he would sometimes catch in the red zone, but then it was that, and then it was just, well, that it's either going to be him or the running backs. We know what they're doing, right? Romeo Dobbs doesn't have hands. This is basically what they were saying. Geronimo Allison's Geronimo Allison.
Romeo Dobbs can get open, but he can't catch the ball.
I mean, man, I cannot believe that they don't throw George Kittle the ball, bro. Like, I've got to get him off my team.
No, you should keep him.
And see, this is the 49ers offense. So, similarly to like Green Bay, right? With Brock Purdy, it feels like the thought would be Christian McCaffrey clearly gets a lot of the lion's share just in general, but like the no-name wide receivers are getting the ball too. But this because this is a Shanahan system. It's the same thing with the Packers. Like,
let me tell you,
anyone can be a star. Like that's why Turbo Taylor was a guy for us. Like he led the team in touchdown catches. Like the fuck out of here that year, the Super Bowl year, he led the team in touchdowns. Not Sanu, not Hooper. Not fucking who's our other tight end? We had what's his face that was in Denver with Peyton. Not the other tight end. His name slipped me. I know you can remember it. Jacob Tammy, not Jacob Tammy, because he was on the team too. It wasn't free. It wasn't fucking
Julio. You didn't even say Julio.
Julio. Well, yeah, well, because he's supposed to be the obvious guy, right? There we go. He gave it to Kittle. Finally. He got the first down, but they called a flag, bro. I really hope it's not holding.
No, it's not. It's on defense. Roughing the passer.
So that gets tacked on after the play, though.
Hey, let me tell you a funny story about like the scheme working, right? Oh, that's weak.
What?
That roughing is weak. That's weak. He like lodged into his hip before the ball got let go.
As long as Kittle gets the yards.
Let me tell you.
I need Kittle to get a touchdown, though, because that's my parlay. If he gets the touchdown and Georgia State's quarterback gets 250 yards, I'm going to win.
So let me tell you something. Let me tell you something funny, man. I was playing flag football yesterday, and the quarterback was running the scheme.
They didn't give it to him, bro. No, they didn't. Or they haven't added it yet. Let's see. Oh, they did. Good.
Quarterback is like throwing the ball to the people who are open. And I'm telling the quarterback, I'm like, hey, I'm a bigger man than him. Just throw me the ball. Don't worry if I'm open. Just throw me the ball. That's Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers says, I like the man. I don't like the scheme. Tom Brady says, I like the man. I don't like the scheme.
Yeah.
Jordan Love, Baker Mayfield, where he's at in his career today. Hey, boy, you better like that scheme.
Right.
And pepper that thing around. So you like I do until Kamara shows up and we see something different. We just don't believe in Dennis Allen and Derek Carr. Christian McCaffrey scored the touchdown, by the way.
Of course he did.
And he let his lineman spike it.
Let me just see. Was it a pass or a run? I mean,
Run.
The saddest part about it is that it's like New York knew that he was absolutely running, that they were running the ball. And it's just like, y'all didn't want to set up so they could just throw it and we see what happens. Like,
Nah, because they're all
now it's not that they're not going to maybe throw a touchdown in the second half, but it's just like, my goodness. Like, and I was hoping that you know how Kyle likes doing that like shovel ass play? Like, it's like a shovel play. Like, they do it with Kelsey in Kansas City too. I was hoping we get one of those to where he like motions in and then catches it and then just like he powers in. Like, he's a running back in the situation. They haven't really been giving Kittle the fucking ball all season, man. And I'm just really disappointed because I'm like, man, I got the number 2 tight end in fantasy last season. But that's why I'm upset that guys like Darren Waller are going to Justice's team. So good. He started him too, and he doesn't have any points. But it doesn't matter. Justice also has Christian McCaffrey. So he's got 15 fucking points in the first half. So he's on Yeah, you're muted.
My bad.
You were
Well,
muted.
Justice getting 15 points out of McCaffrey in the first half makes me feel amazing.
Oh, yeah, I guess you are playing him. But you don't have anyone playing right now either.
Now, when I sit down on the couch after this game, I'm gonna feel amazing. Soon as my butt hits that couch, it's gonna feel great.
But there's no Waller for you.
Hey,
Waller's not doing anything, so it's kind of splitting it up a little bit, you know?
Hey, man, we're down to the last 15 minutes of this hour. Anything else from NFC South?
No, I think we both agree, though, that it feels like Tampa is more of who we think's the threat and that we don't believe in the coach and quarterback in New Orleans. So, by default, that is who we, through 2 weeks at least, believe is going to be the team that we're going to have to wrestle off. Which, by the way, we do play New England in Week 18. So should be really interesting if it is them.
Do we play? Do we play New England at home or in New England?
No, not New England. New Orleans.
Oh, yeah. We played them in New Orleans.
Yeah, so that could be the.
Let's go to the Pissy City.
That could be. Well, think about it. That could be. Maybe it will be. Who knows? That could be the division clincher. Man, who says that we're both not playoff teams? And it's the difference between a wild card and a division title.
All I'm saying is we should.
We're going no matter what.
I think we should go to the Pissy City.
Yeah,
I know how you feel about New Orleans, but I love New Orleans. I got family down there. My wife has family down there, so I can make it a family trip, and we can still go do wild, crazy things on bourbon and go gambling, and I still hit my family quota.
Right. And that's ultimately what it's about, right?
Yeah, keeping the family happy.
Yeah.
All right, let's go through the Sunday slate real quick and talk about the games we care about before we get into what people actually show up to the show for.
Okay.
We got Pats Jets. Do you want to touch it?
We're just doing the preview, right?
Yeah.
Here, are we going to do NFL first? That way I know which one to pull up.
We're going to do NFL first.
Okay.
If anything I call is in the picks, just let me know it's in the 6-pack.
Hold on.
I gotta hope you got Pats Jets in your 6-pack and Pats covering.
Hold on. I had because I didn't actually end up finishing it, and at least these will be up to date.
All right. So while he's figuring that out, we got Pats Jets first game. No Aaron Rodgers. Give me the Pats, man. I mean, Zach Wilson's not good at quarterback, so Bill Belichick is gonna fool him into 2 to 3 interceptions. Christian Gonzalez, I didn't even not say that. Christian Gonzalez is a really good cornerback. I don't know if y'all saw the what Tyreek Hill came out and said, but he's like, he's him. And for Cheetahs to let somebody know that he's him, like that means something.
Right. It's probably true.
Yeah, because Cheetah's the best receiver in the league. Fuck what you heard. But yeah, Bill Belichick beats up on bad quarterbacks. I don't think Mac Jones does anything that anybody cares about, but nonetheless, Bill Belichick, Robert Saleh, Mac Jones is better than Zach Wilson. I like the Pats.
Yeah.
Cowboys, Cardinals. I don't think that game deserves our time other than the fact that the line has been bet down a couple points and it's minus 12.5. Again, we're not doing picks right now, but Cardinals aren't good. Josh Dobbs is slated to get 11 fantasy points this week, okay? And the Cowboys are the number 3 earner in fantasy football this week. I think that trend keeps going.
You know, I'm looking at this, and I don't want to take the easy way out. There are so many just easy way out picks to where I just know they're going to win. They're not great odds. And when I say easy way out, I don't mean taking the Cowboys money line, right? Like, I'm talking about games where there's a little bit of value, but it's like, man, this is kind of fucking easy, like to just take them. Like, they're going to win, and they're not ridiculously bad odds, but they're going to win.
I'm going to go ahead and tell you, if you were to give Cowboys money line as a pick, I would say no. Hey, no, that pick don't count.
I'm not doing that. It's the Bills game. It's that Bills-Commanders game. The line has came down significantly. It's dropped by 2 points since earlier today. They had the Bills at -8. It's now down to -6. Their money line was initially, I think, -300. Now it's -260. And that's really good value because as much as I think we both thought the Bills would take a step back in terms of record-wise this season, I had them still as a playoff team. But, like, record-wise, they weren't going to win 13 or 12 games. They'd be more of a 10 or 11-win team. Come on, man. I'm not drinking that Commanders Kool-Aid. I'm sorry.
Hey.
That was one of my easier picks here that I'm not.
Parlay Pete, take command.
They're a healthy dog, that's for sure. Same with the Denver Broncos at the Miami Dolphins. So how about this? Check this out. Anytime Russell Wilson's been over a 6-point dog, he's like 11-2 against the spread, and he's won outright 3 of those times. They're obviously, you know how I feel about the Dolphins. They're my Super Bowl. They're my AFC representative. I like them. Everybody's already falling in love with them because they're like, man, is Mike McDaniels out Shanahan already? Like, because that is what they're so creative offensively. And it's like, Tua isn't this all-star, right? But like, he is a guy. Think about it. At one point, everybody thought Tua was going to be the number 1 pick in the draft out of Bama. People were saying Tua was going to be the number 1 pick. Then he ended up being the 3rd quarterback taken in that draft. And it's like,
hey, can I circle back to Falcons first really quickly?
Yes, you can. We can always talk Falcons.
So obviously you've been in the group as well. And, you know, off that Jalen Hurts quote about winning being the most important thing and your brother Justice circling back to winning being the most important thing. And he doesn't understand why Falcons fans don't see that with Desmond. Whereas it's like, hey, man, Jalen Hurts has also given us stuff that we can see with our eyes. He passes the eye.
Borderline MVP season.
Yeah, like
had he
not got hurt and missed a couple of games, he's the MVP last year.
Yeah, he might have gotten it over
Patrick Mahomes. And Desmond Ridder has not done anything close to that. And he talks about how Falcons fans would rather have Kyler. Well, Kyler has gotten his team to the playoffs. Kyler is a Heisman Trophy winner. Kyler's number 1 overall pick. Kyler has all of the skills to be a great quarterback. Don't know about the work ethic or the size or the leadership, but different conversation. And I said Kyler's not it, but we also know the game has to be played a certain way for Dez to work. Mm-hmm. And he throws us in there together like we're not. I don't even know who you could compare us to. I feel like we're more Max and Marcellus, where we just have conversations.
Yeah,
like we're not Mike and the Mad Dog. We're not Stephen A. and Skip and
I know we're going to get to that here in this 3rd hour, of course, with Mad Dog and what he said.
With his gummies?
Right. The gummies. He basically told everybody that he was going to put $10,000 on Colorado. That's what he said. That is actually what he was trying to say. He's going to put $10,000 on the game. And he's got the money to do it. But like,
I mean, ESPN is donating money to the fucking Mad Dog Foundation.
They are.
But he goes, you and Pierce like Arthur Smith, trust his judgment. I don't like Arthur, but I know Dez can play. And, you know, I have the utmost respect for your brother. And you know, we have these conversations with each other in person, so I have no issue like talking like this on the pod.
Yeah.
But I don't know how he watches football and trust Desmond Ridder more than he trusts Arthur Smith. I just don't know how that works. And I know he goes to
when Dez is anything positive that Dez does for the most part is a product of
Arthur
Smith. Yeah, so it's.
I'm not crazy to be like, bro, what are you?
Look at this idiot. Did you just see this at the end of the half? Number 91 for the Giants.
Well, no, it was Trent Richardson first, or Trent. Yeah, not Trent Richardson.
No, he just like hit him up in his like chin. You didn't see that shit? I don't know I didn't see what Trent did if he did anything. I saw him, the Giants guy, just hit him up in the mouth.
Trent swung, but Trent.
Oh, idiot! He's about to get fucking ejected. What a dumbass!
He's not.
It was a closed fist punch.
Trent Williams should get ejected, but he's probably get the benefit of the doubt because he's like the greatest left tackle we've seen in the last 10 years. I think he should get tossed. You can't do that.
Well, it was a punch. He threw a punch.
Yeah, I know. That's NFL's automatic ejection.
Yeah, he's going to get tossed for that. The other guy's not going to get tossed. He's going to get tossed for throwing a
Get
punch.
him out of here.
That's stupid. He did that shit in the Cowboys game last year, too. Do you remember that? No, it was the Eagles game. I mean, he got ejected in the Eagles game because he threw like a punch. He like threw a punch in that game, too, and it's just like –
No, bro. They're not ejecting Trent. They're just offsetting penalties. That's horse shit. That is – I get that's horse shit. I don't want to see Trent Williams removed from any football game, but that is total horse shit. You know, I was listening to some Rasheed Wallace and Bonzi Wells earlier today. They'll ask me how YouTube brought me there. But
Wells, huh?
But they were just talking about just some of the ways that referees influence games and some of the business behind it. And this is some of that. Like, and here's what's not going to happen. Nobody on this halftime show, I'm not listening. I know Al, and Herb Street, he doesn't know NFL rules, so you can't expect him to say anything. Somebody should be saying Trent Williams should be removed from this game.
Exactly. It should be being talked about. I'd be like, did he just punch him with a closed fist?
He should be removed from the game.
And Trent Williams is like a 36, 37-year-old man. He's like he's a much older NFL. Like he's been in the league 14, 15 years.
Class of 2010.
Yeah, I don't know.
Get out. But anyways. Let's get back to this week 3 slate so we can get to the bets.
Yeah.
Colts, Ravens, 8.5. Is AR-15 playing?
I don't think he is. You know what is scary? Somebody brought this up on Twitter, and I'm about to pull it up right now. Not on Twitter, but on his stats. Have you seen Gardner Minshew's stats over his time in the league?
They're probably really good.
Listen to this. I'm pulling it up now. Okay. This is Gardner Minshew's stats. Completion percentage, 63.2%. Touchdown to interception ratio, 45-15. 6,800 passing yards, 524 rushing yards, 2 rushing touchdowns. Wait, where are the passing touchdowns? No, I already said it, 45-15. So he had his rookie year in 12 games. He threw for 3,200 yards, 21 touchdowns, 6 picks, 60% completion percentage. Rookie.
He's good.
6th round pick. Next year, now he went 6-6 too, by the way, when he did that. So he was 500 quarterback. Then the next year he went 1-7, but he threw for in 8 games, so half the season, 2,200 yards, 66% completion percentage, 16 TDs, 5 picks.
He's better than Desmond Ridder.
The numbers tell me he is. The numbers tell me he can sling it a little bit more. That's what I see. He's not a bad person to have, I guess, is really more of what I'm saying. His numbers are probably better than Taylor Heineke's if we're talking about it. Like,
eye test also tells me that he's better than Desmond Ritter. And again, I don't want Gardner Minshew to be my
He did
friend.
not look good in those games last year where he replaced, and which is the sad part because he had much better supporting cast. But they played like the Cowboys and somebody. They played some good teams in those games. But like
Cowboys.
Well, the Cowboys needed to win that game, because that was them to clinch. I remember it was Christmas Eve because I was sitting in a bar in New York. And so I remember watching that game. It was a close game. The Cowboys only won by like 5 or something. But
no, Minshew played well. It was like with Jalen Hurts, they probably like the Eagles play better, maybe win the game. But no, he played well. It's not terrible that Minshew's playing. I think that's why the line is 8.5 right now, because people go, Minshew is a good quarterback in this league.
He's a good enough backup to get the job done.
Titans, Browns, I don't think that deserves any of our time. We've talked Broncos, Dolphins, Bills, Commanders. We hit that one as well. Saints, Packers. I think this game will tell us what we need to know about it tells us nothing about the Saints. I was about to say what it tells us about the Saints, but Kamara's not back yet, so we won't know shit about them until week 5.
Mm-hmm.
Texans, Jaguars. Golly, this is going to be the game that's going to be on in South Georgia this weekend. Oh no, it's a Fox game? Oh, golly, that's disgusting. So happy I'll be in North Georgia on Sunday. Vikings, Chargers. We talked about that already. That's loser. Loser go home or whatever the fuck they call that shit in wrestling. Seahawks, Panthers, yeah, who cares? Bears, Chiefs, yeah, no one really cares about that game. Steelers, Raiders, I think that's a spicy Sunday night game.
Mm-hmm. It is, well, because they played that game last year. That was Derek Carr's last game. That was on Christmas Eve as well. Let me tell you, I love a New York Christmas. I'm not gonna lie, because it's such a good place to be for Christmas. As cold as it is outside of that part, it's just, festively, like there's a lot, like the bar I was at, it was a ton of drunk New Yorkers, some out of towners too, like me, but it's a good place to be. I like being in New York for Christmas.
Bro, I believe it.
It feels like I'm home alone. Like I'm Macaulay Culkin walking around that bitch. I don't know. I'm the Black Rose.
I'm open. I've talked to my wife. And I'm like, I'm open to working in New York. I live in Jersey, but I'm open to it. And she's just so anti-New York. So I'm like, fuck. What if the pay is right? Do I have to tell you this is the only reasonable offer that I have?
Yeah.
Probably. I get on here. I tell the truth sometimes, man. This is what I tell you guys who are listening. Some of the ugly truths of serious relationships is making decisions and living with the consequence of those decisions. And more times than not, if you and your partner are solid, they're going to ride with you, even if it's something that they may not be into. Especially if you take good care of them more times than you don't, right? You take care of them Monday through Friday. You know what? You may be able to go out on Saturday night and you not have to hear no bullshit when you come home at 3 a.m.
Right.
We got Eagles. Bro, this Monday night doubleheader nonsense has got to go.
I like it. I liked it this past Monday because
it started earlier. That's it.
What's great for betting, just because you got more than one game to deal with.
Fair.
I wish that they had maybe an hour and a half between to where the second game began at halftime of the other game. The Browns game had began like it was still like mid-second quarter. And now here's the positive too. The first game, the Saints-Panthers game was boring. It sucked. Like it was a bad football product to watch. The second game, as sloppy as it was because there were so many turnovers and stuff, it was still a pretty good game to watch though. And obviously there was just more happening. I mean, Nick Chubb's injury, George Pickens taking it to the house on like a 77-yard call. Just way more excitement, 2 defensive touchdowns. There's just a lot more going on in that football game. And it was look, Saints Panthers, I guess, is a rivalry, but it's not a rivalry. That would have been a great spot to throw like Falcon Saints. As a what it was, you wanted Bryce Young's like home debut or what. But that would have been. Can you imagine if that was our week 2 game? It was Falcon Saints Monday night. That's like that gets the juices flowing because no matter how good or how bad the teams are, that's something people want to watch. That's why we played on Thanksgiving back-to-back years. But nonetheless,
then we got Rams Bengals. We got a Super Bowl rematch. Yeah, I don't care where this game is at. I see the Bengals going 0-3. But you know what it's time for.
I do know what it is time for.
Ladies and gentlemen, I want to bring you to the most important part of this show. Honestly, we do 3 hours for about 20 minutes, and the numbers show. It is time for Parlay Piece 6-pack.
All right, we had a rough week last week. 2-4 in both the college and the NFL. Lee, I know your 3 went 2-1. Kudos to you. You still kept it above 500. We were feeling ourselves a little too much, but you know what? Last week was a rough week for the NFL, and it was the worst college football slate ever. We might have the best college football week ahead of us with 6 ranked matchups. And with the NFL, of course, it just gets back to where we're going to get to see a little bit more of the teams that we think we know about and see if they're even more for real now after another week. But we're going to go ahead and get started off with the game that I'm going to be in attendance of. We got the Atlanta Falcons at the Detroit Lions. I try to stay away from the Falcons, of course. I think that everybody knows I've got a little bit of a biasness, so I don't like to throw them in unless I'm just 100% sure. So in this case, we're going to go for a third straight week because we hit on the Falcons game last week. We took the over, and then we also took them -3.5 the first week. So we're 2-0 in Falcons game. At least I know my team. Falcons Lions, we're going to take over 46.5. I like the over in this game. We have scored 24-25 in our first 2 games. The Lions scored 20 on the road against Kansas City, but they lost last week, and it was 31-37. I expect there to be some points that get put up in this game because I expect us to get to that 24 type number again. And whether we win or lose, I think that Detroit's going to get into the 20s as well. I like the over. I like over 46.5. Next, we got the Tennessee Titans at the Cleveland Browns. I think Deshaun has a bounce back game. I really do. So we're going to ride with the Cleveland Browns -3. We're going to go ahead and take it. I feel like it's going to be a 3-point game, so I'm not going to buy the point, but we'll just take them -3. Fuck it. I don't see why not. We're going to go with the Browns. I like them a little bit more in this matchup, even without Nick Chubb. I just expect them to play a little bit better. Their defense is pretty stout. The Steelers didn't run the ball very well at all on the Browns. No, they barely threw the ball on them. I mean, I'm not trying to be funny. The Steelers won that game because Deshaun Watson turned the ball over, and the Titans' defense is no Steelers' defense. So we're going to take Browns -3. Next, ironically, we got the Pittsburgh Steelers at the Las Vegas Raiders. Going ahead and give me the Pittsburgh Steelers +3.5. We're buying a 0.5 points on that. So we're going to take that. The line is 3, but we're going to take them 3.5 because I do think that that's going to be a 3-point game, whether the Steelers win or not. I think that game comes down to the very end, and I like the Steelers to be on the plus side. Give me the points with the Steelers. Next, we got the Chicago Bears at the Kansas City Chiefs. If there's anything that you learned from my college football picks last week is that when there's a dumpster fire, you throw your money on the other team. The Bears are in a dumpster fire, and Justin Fields, I believe, is 0-3 when he's faced a double-digit spread. He's 0-3 against the spread when it's a double-digit spread, and they just so happen to be playing the Kansas City Chiefs of all teams. We're going to lay the 12 points on the Chiefs. We're not going to buy any points. We're not going to do anything funny with it. Just give me the 12. -12 Kansas City Chiefs. Next, here's my easy way out pick. I did decide to throw one in. We're going to take the Buffalo Bills at the Washington Commanders on the money line, -260. I just think the value is too good, and I don't think the Commanders are that good. So it's pretty simple to me. The Bills are going to win the football game. They're better than them. And I just don't see Josh Allen falling to 1-2. I think if they were to fall to 1-2, McDermott's seat starts. I mean, it's not hot, but then you start looking over and you're like, hey, man, does anyone see? It's like, it seems like something might be steaming in here. And then he'll be like, nope, what are you talking about? But you'll see a little steam and you'll kind of brush it off and be like, okay, well, I guess I don't smell fire. Maybe something's just, maybe there's some water that's boiling somewhere and we just don't see it. So we'll take the Bills on the money line. And then finally, to close out, we got those son of a bitch Saints at the Green Bay Packers. Give me Jordan Love and the boys in their home opener. I like Green Bay on the money line here. I think that they're a better team than the Saints. And I think that with that first game and the confidence that they have, they lost by 1 to us. They looked really good against their rival Bears. I just don't expect the Saints to win this game because I have not been impressed with Derek Carr. And I think that Dennis Allen's a fucking doofus. So give me the Green Bay Packers, baby, on the money line.
All right, let me run that back to you real quick, Parlay Pete. We got Falcons at Lions over 46.5.
Yep.
We got Titans at Browns -3.
Mm-hmm.
Steelers at Raiders, Steelers +3.5.
Yes.
Bears at Chiefs -12.
Yes.
Bills at Commanders, Bills on that money line.
Yep.
And last and certainly not least, maybe my favorite bet is give me Saints at Green Bay and Green Bay on that money line.
That the Lions won just like our game too.
You like it? I love it. Let's talk some college.
I was about to say, you want to just transition straight into the college? We can get it going right now.
Let's get those college picks going, Parlay Pete.
Let's do it. We had a rough week in college too last week. Another 2-4. But like I said, it was probably the worst college football slate.
Oh yeah, that was terrible college football last week
that we fucking had. So we're gonna go ahead and kick this thing off right. We're gonna take a dog. We got 1, 2, 3 dogs on the money line this week, plus a dog on the points. And we're not shying away. We're gonna touch some games. We got Oklahoma State at Iowa State. Matt Campbell. I'm pretty sure you saw the video of Matt Campbell. Hey Matt, you're on the hot seat, and him turning around and taking offense to it. It's because he is on the fucking hot seat and his guys are still suspended. I'm going to take Oklahoma State at Iowa State on the money line. They're dogs. Oklahoma State's not very good either, but we're going to just take them. I like them as a dog against. I think Iowa State's probably the worst team in the Big 12 this season.
Hey, Gundy's a better coach than Matt Campbell, by the way. Just throwing it out.
He should be. This is a game that he should win. So we're going to take Oklahoma State, even though they got embarrassed at home last week by Alabama State. I expect them to bounce back and beat Iowa State. They've got too many guys.
Did you say Alabama State?
South Alabama beat. South Alabama did beat Oklahoma State last week.
Oh, but okay.
They did. And I know that's why somebody would want to stay away from this. But we're not going to shy away from it. I see the value. Next, we got Colorado State at Middle Tennessee State. Middle Tennessee played who again? Did they play us? They played UGA, didn't they?
Yeah.
Okay, so we saw that game, and they weren't too terribly bad. But they're at home, and this week they got Colorado State, who we just saw against Coach Prime and the boys. They're dogs. Colorado State's a dog. We're going to roll with Colorado State. I think that the momentum of showing that they could play with Prime in them is going to carry over for them for the rest of the season. I like them to beat Middle Tennessee State at Middle Tennessee. Point blank, period, to me. So we're going to take Colorado State, another dog. Next, we got Memphis at Missouri. I like the over 51 here. I expect there to be a ton of points scored. Missouri is not really that good of a defensive team, and Memphis does like to put up points. I just expect there to be a ton of points getting scored in this game. I think 51 is a low number. We're going to take the 51, over 51. Next, now we're getting to the big boys, probably the 3 most anticipated games of the week, and we'll go ahead and go in order. We got Florida State at Clemson. That's going to be your noon kickoff game that everybody's going to be tuned into. Florida State had a terrible fucking showing against Boston College. They did not cover the number for us last week. And, of course, Clemson, got dog walked by Duke in the opening week, and then they were losing to Charleston Southern at home in the first quarter. I like Florida State to win this game because I think that their national championship hopes kind of depend on it, to be completely honest with you. I think that they'll eke out a win. I'm not betting on Dabo. Put it that way. I can't bet on Dabo. We won't bet on Dabo. We've had too much to say about Dabo. He's going to have to make me walk it back and apologize just like I did on Coach Prime after week 1. And I'll gladly do it next week if they show me that they can put together a convincing win at home, but I don't expect to see it. I expected to be more like when Jameis Winston went to Clemson, and there was that big matchup between him and I guess it was Taj Boyd at the time. Do you remember? That was like Jameis Winston's coming out party that national championship year. They were ranked 5. Clemson was ranked 3. And Jameis Winston, they won by like 50. They didn't win by 50 points, but it was like 55-17. It was a terrible game. Give me Florida State on the money line. Next, we got the 3:30 primetime game. We got Coach Wine and the Colorado Buffs headed to Oregon in Eugene for field night to start talking to Prime about re-releasing those shoes again. Shout outs to Lee. Shout outs to both Adam Lees. How about that?
Hey, shout out to Big Adam.
And we're going to go ahead and we're going to take Colorado plus 21.5. The line is 21, so we're buying half a point because just to spare the expense of if it is exactly a 3-touchdown game. I like Colorado to cover. I don't know why they're laying that many points on them. I guess because Hunter's out, but I kind of like Colorado to cover that spread. I think that they already had their kick in the pants game last week, even though they won. They had their kick in the pants game. I don't expect them to win this game, but at the same time, I like them to cover the 21.5. I just don't see them losing by more than 3 touchdowns. So we're going to go with Coach Prime in Colorado plus 21.5. And then finally, the big kahuna of the night, the top 10 matchup of the evening. We've got Ohio State at Notre Dame. Notre Dame is a dog at home, and I believe that this is actually the year where they do fucking show up and that Marcus Freeman does put together that game because I am not a believer in Ohio State's quarterback. As great as the weapons are on Ohio State's end with Marvin Harrison Jr. and Ibuka, I just really don't see them getting it done. They've been so underwhelming. Notre Dame, to me, has a more potent offense. I really like Notre Dame to get it done. They're a dog as well at home. Give me Notre Dame on the money line.
All right. Let's go back through this thing. We got Oklahoma State on the money line.
Mm-hmm.
Colorado State on the money line.
Mm-hmm.
Memphis at Missouri over 51.
Yes.
Florida State on the money line.
Mm-hmm.
Coach Prime plus 21.5.
Hey, we're riding with Prime.
Notre Dame on the money line.
Yep. Those are the college football six facts for this week.
You like it? I love it. Let me take a sip of this here Bush Peach limited edition.
Because it's time for Lee's 3. Lee's 3. Lee's 3. Lee's 3.
So, Lee's 3. I'm going to give you an extra one this week. That's how good I'm feeling.
Little bonus pick, huh?
Little bonus pick.
Little Lee's quarter of a dozen.
Quarter of a dozen. Maybe if I have a second kid.
Quarter of a Lee's dozen.
You know what? Maybe if I have a second kid, then you know what I mean. We'll run that quarter dozen, baby. But let's
Lee's dozen.
Let me give me Notre Dame on that money line, baby.
Okay, you're feeling it too.
Hail to the Irish.
Yeah.
Falcons and Lions. I love that over. It's gonna be some offense, baby.
I think there's gonna definitely be points scored in that game.
Here's why I'm giving you an extra one because I'm being cheap here because I care about my record. Give me that Bills money line.
Yeah, I know, right? Well, wasn't it just too good?
I gotta take it.
They're minus 260. I'm just like, man, fuck that. They're winning the game. Like,
give me that Bills money line, but also I like that Florida State money line.
So you're going college this week? I
want Dabo in the dungeon. Put Dabo down because if Dabo has 2 losses in 4 weeks, Clemson is cooked. They're back to who we thought they were.
Yeah, I'm sorry, man. I know they were at Duke, but I mean, that was just such a poor. And this is their first game against a decent opponent. Like they played Charleston Southern and like Alabama A&M the last 2 weeks. I don't think that that's the competition. And then, like I said, they were struggling against Charleston. So that ain't the type of competition you want to face after getting your ass kicked by a team in your conference.
Shit, no. So
and Florida State just so happened to get their kick in their pants last week. Because now they're like, oh shit, this shit not guaranteed. We really need to come out and ball out like we did against LSU.
So that's Lee's 3 + 1. I hope y'all like it, but I'm gonna throw it to Parlay Pete as we transition into the next. Excuse me. That's hour 2.